going everyone? Sanju here. Welcome back to the channel. And of course, episode 9 of Bleach the Thousand Year Blood War is here. Yo, as a manga reader, and based on the pacing for this arc in the anime, I already know this episode is a very big Kenpachi episode. So, Kenpachi fans, obviously by the time you're watching this, you should have watched the episode already, naturally. So, yo, I want to hear everybody's thoughts, especially if you're anime only, because yo, this naga novel in terms of the reveal. But anyway, be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, of course subscribe for more Bleach the Thousand Year Blood War, reactions and reviews, naturally. But without further ado, let's get into it. Man, get the promotion. Yo, that might as well just try drone Ichigo. Yo, but I get sick and tired of this will be launched to the next place to do, honestly. Ichigo! It's called Pro Tag Power, man. Sorry, I just have to say this. I think one of the most annoying things about Bleach, and let's be honest here, a lot of things about Bleach annoy me, even though I love it. The Central 46, I think, should have been one of those factions within Soul Society that should have gotten a bit more exploration, you know? If it's even introduce a one character from the Central 46 or two and have them interact with Ichigo and friends, on a somewhat regular basis, kind of explore the intricacies of Central 46. Because, Aizen killed all of them in the Soul Society arc, and then they're just replaced with new ones are supposedly at some unknown point. We never know. It's just weird to me. They're just replaced at some weird odd point, and then it's like, oh, new Central 46. I'm just saying. There she is. Should I say best girl? Yo, Ichigo just fed up, dog. Listen, don't do this to me. Them know some anime food look good now, and they might do this to me for make me hungry. Now that they mentioned Urahara, I didn't reread the chapters this episode is based on before getting into it, but I feel like they took out a line by probably I'm getting the name wrong. Renji, the last Squad Zero member by the hot springs and thing. There should have been a line there where he references Urahara's hot springs, or maybe I'm confusing it with this Squad Zero member making that line. But whatever. Yeah. No, don't do this to me, bro. Dog. Ichigo for go on better than dog. It's a minor detail, but I like how you have the Squad Zero member. You can hear her in the kitchen, chopping or preparing the desserts in the meantime. It's like a small quality of life thing. They didn't have to do that, but that's actually pretty neat, For the culture. I'm just saying. For the culture. Listen, I'm just saying that probably some women would love if it were like that in real life. That's all I'm saying. Ooh, Soul Society looking beautifully destroyed. Time for some Mama Unohana action. You. Listen, Nobody named Half did. Ooh. Bruh. Woo! Yeah. That's Mama Unohana. Dog, like, what's with the eye? Like, the eyes, bro. Kyle, like, misway to say, in terms of the eyes. Alright, so that was episode 9 of Bleach, the 1,000-Year Blood War, and honestly, not a decent episode. I mean, we're in the training arc phase of the, of the entire arc, so episodes like this, will be continuing for a while. But to be honest, I think for anime onlys especially, this episode was probably a major shocker. Granted, when we got the flashback of the original Gotei 13, some persons may have picked up is that Unohana? But this episode definitely confirms it. Unohana was a part of the original Gotei 13, and the revelation that she's the original Kenpachi, big stuff. I think persons will be going back to a lot of Unohana scenes, probably some Unohana compilations on YouTube, and say, no wonder these characters were afraid or didn't really want to mess with her too much, because they probably know her history. So that's the interesting part about it in retrospect, which I definitely like. But in terms of this episode, as we've seen, we have Ichigo and Renji in, of course, in the Soul King's palace, in that realm up there, and we have the whole Kenpachi situation down there. Not much to say on the Ichigo and Renji part. Of course, we have indication that, more indication that the main character is special. I don't know, water is wet. So there's that, and just seeing them move on to the next Zero Squad member, to the next Zero Squad member, to actually just kind of continue and prepare for their ultimate training that is to come, and a little bit of lore there when it comes on to the Zero Squad and why they're so important to the Soul King and why they are the Zero Squad, because in essence they kind of represent, as they put it in this episode, the history of the Soul Society. They've each created or done something very monumental to impact the history of Soul Society. So that's interesting when it comes on to the lore and all that. So, and of course we get the interesting tidbits in terms of the temporary soul, mod souls, Gigai, Gigon, as Hikefune put it. So, all interesting stuff, and it seems like we're going to be, it really set the stage for Renji and Ichigo's training, because we're going to, Nemaya created the Zanpakuto, so that's going to be definitely something to look forward to. Anyway, the Kenpachi thing though, Mama Unohana. I mean, listen, that tagline, it sticks, it works. I'm just saying. So, yeah. But as I said, the revelation that she's the original Kenpachi is interesting, and even from her name, it's interesting. Yachiru. I feel like persons who are watching who are kind of refreshing their memory since probably because they didn't read the manga in a while. It's like, Yachiru. I wonder if it has any connection to X, Y, and Z. You never know. So that's interesting. And honestly, it puts in perspective how strong the original Gotei 13 is. That's one thing I like about this fight. Even though they're saying that, Kenpachi's gotten weaker, quote unquote. I think it puts in perspective how strong the original Gotei 13 was, because even though, they're kind of promoting that Kenpachi got weaker compared to the first time he fought Unohana, which based on the flashbacks in this episode was when he was a child, compared to the start of the series of Bleach till now, Kenpachi has definitely gotten a lot stronger. And the fact that Unohana can seemingly beat him seemingly easy without even using her Shikai, much less, it really puts in perspective how much stronger the original Gotei 13 must have been. Granted, Unohana, you could probably make an argument that she's gotten stronger over the last 1,000 years, but considering she kind of switched to being a healer, you could make an argument that she probably hasn't gotten any stronger, but she probably hasn't gotten any weaker all the same. So That's the interesting tidbit right there, which I definitely love. And they're fighting in Muken, which of course Aizen is supposed to be down there. So, interesting location to say the least. As I was saying during the episode though, when it comes on to Kyoraku being the new Squad 1 captain, kind of feels like it fits him, especially with that eye patch. But in terms of his interaction with Central 46, it definitely reminded me that, yo, there are certain factions in Bleach that could have definitely gotten fleshed out a bit more. It's like, yeah, Central 46, it might be just a little nitpick of mine, so it is what it is. But all in all, I thought this was another decent episode, and of course we have some interesting stuff to look forward to as the training arc for the next invasion continues. And it kind of has me curious now, like, are we going to take a break after 13 episodes, or are we just going to continue continuously for like one whole year when it comes on to the 1,000-year Blood War? I don't know, let me know your preference. Like, would you mind like a 2 to 3 month break after episode 13? You know, I would imagine in terms of the second core, they've already, you know, have a decent amount of that finished more than likely. But, you know, a little extra 2 to 3 months to kind of polish things even more wouldn't hurt. But this is what it is. Anyway, Sanjay Chia, let me know what you thought about this episode of Bleach! And your expectations for this whole fight between Kenpachi and Unohana. Because as I say, one of them must die, even though it didn't really have to, but, you know, I guess thematically, listen, we'll talk about that and complain about it once we actually get there. Sanjay Chia, stay safe, people. I'll see you guys in the next video.